by March, we had our first product testing on the marketplace, and it kind of took off pretty quickly, going from zero sales to we were doing about $500,000 a month by May.
Wow, that's
And
amazing. All right, this is another episode of the Founders Pack podcast. My guest today is Clayton Kanemitsu from, how do you pronounce the company's name, by the way? I should have asked that.
yeah, no, you're fine. It's MLO Shoes. So it actually is
Okay,
an acronym that stands for Move, Lead, Overcome.
got it. I almost pronounced it MLO, and I'm like, I don't think that's right. So,
Yeah, no, you're fine. A lot of people pronounce it multiple different ways. Some even say like Milo or MLO. So you're good.
right. So, move, lead, and overcome. I love that. That's amazing.
Yep.
All right. So, for people that don't know, who is Clayton and what is MLO Shoes?
Yeah, so I am the CEO and founder of Innovative Inc., which is the parent company, obviously, to MLO Shoes. We started off back during the heat of the pandemic, right in March of 2020. Before that, I was a YouTube content creator on, played video games on Twitch as well, and ended up like taking a trip to Paris, which is the fashion capital of the world. Was there with my wife and went into like a Louis Vuitton Gucci store and was like, oh wow, I kind of like fashion. They brought me like some champagne as I was trying on some different shoes. And then I started thinking to myself, like, why haven't I gotten into this before this? And I realized, well, it's because I couldn't afford it. And then so I started doing some research of, what other brands are out there that are, fashionable, I could afford, or more people could afford, and it is more accessible to the masses. And I couldn't find anything. So that was in January of 2020. By March, we had our first product testing on the marketplace, and it kind of took off pretty quickly, going from zero sales to we were doing about $500,000 a month by May.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
yeah, it was pretty
That's
quick,
great.
and we had to scramble to figure out all the logistics that were going behind things. With the pandemic, so there's packages were taking forever, or just not even showing up, and yeah, it was kind of like early struggles from the very beginning, just because of the circumstances of where the world was at. But of course, it was helping with sales because people were at home shopping online more. And I think they said 2020 was like the highest peak of e-commerce sales that
For
there
sure.
ever has been. So, but yeah, I mean that's the gist of how we got started. Of course, I could go into more detail, but is there like specific things that you would want to learn?
Well, I guess, I understand the Paris story. What was the big thing about shoes? Like why shoes and what motivated you to really start those?
So I mean, I had never been into fashion. Like I played hockey before I was a YouTuber. I know. So I was like a semi-professional hockey player. I played NCAA hockey in Massachusetts. Did that. That was my thing for the first 21 years of my life. Started when I was 3 years old. Ended up going into college as a 21-year-old freshman after playing juniors and going that route. And when I got to college, I decided that I just didn't like it anymore. So I ended up dropping out. My parents obviously did not approve of that decision,
Yeah.
but it forced me to kind of figure things out on my own. So I ended up moving back to Virginia, which is where I played one of my junior hockey seasons. I was originally born in Southern California. That's where I was born and raised, but kind of got traded around once I hit juniors. So met my wife in Virginia, went to college, came back, ended up staying with her. Who, like I said, she's my wife now. So I haven't left. I'm kind of stuck here at this point in
That's
a
all
good
right.
way. But I mean, never really had an eye for
Mhm.
fashion. I liked dressing up for the games, but I never really put like much more thought into it than that. It really wasn't until I walked into Louis Vuitton for the first time, and it kind of like opened my eyes. And of course, my wife was the one that drug me into that store because she wanted a couple bags or whatever. And yeah, I was like, you know what, while I'm here, let me check out these shoes. And I was like, oh, these are pretty nice. I was like, yeah, I kind of like fashion. And then it quickly became, this, I don't want to say obsession, but, definitely like a new hobby. And it was interesting too, because when I was doing YouTube, I always loved being creative and inspiring people through my content, whether it's just teaching them how to do different things in the video games or, whatever else, that people like to watch video games for. But my main foundation was creating stuff and inspiring people. And then when I decided that I wanted to make a footwear brand, I found it as another way to create something that could also inspire people in a different way. And then it quickly consumed my time. So I ended up kind of toning back my YouTube career and really focusing most of my time on MLO.
So I'm going to say a name and you tell me who it is, and then I'll
Okay.
tell you who it is to me.
Okay.
Tyler Narsing.
Tyler Narsing. I played on his team. He was a teammate of mine when I played in Wenatchee, Washington. Um, you know him?
So my current side hustle is the U.S. scout for the Everett Silvertips.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Prior to that, I was the director of coaching for the Everett Junior Silvertips, which
Yeah.
we were building up a tier 2 and a tier 1 program. And Tyler was actually one of our coaches.
Okay. That
So
makes sense.
yeah. So I was like, wait, Nurse. Because as soon as you said, I looked at your 1992 birth year, as I typically do.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I definitely know Tyler Narsing, who is now, I think he's a paramedic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely gone like down the medical path, but I mean that's crazy to me. The hockey world is definitely
It's
a
such a
very
small world.
small world. It really is.
Yeah.
Um and like even anybody in your birth year, you pretty much know. But like Tyler, we actually played on the same team, which
Yeah,
is
that's
even
crazy.
closer. Not We didn't just play against each other, but we played on the same team. Yeah,
Was
that
Bliss
is
there
it's
then, or was
crazy.
that prior to Bliss?
No, he was.
He was.
So that
Okay.
was the NAHL.
Littler. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
You're in the BCHL now.
they are. Yes. Yeah. Things have definitely changed since I've been in hockey. I think it's been
Totally.
like 10 years now or so. So yeah, all the different leagues have kind of been switching things around, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. It's such a
It's
small world.
definitely a small world. So
Yeah.
I throw that out there. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I know that there was one other person. Oh, where did you play? Just out of curiosity, I know this is off topic, but where
Mhm.
did you play prior to Wenatchee?
I was just playing like U18
Oh,
in
okay.
Southern California. So
Oh,
I
you're in
played,
SoCal.
yeah, I played for a couple different teams down there. There's the California Wave,
Yeah,
there's LA Hockey Club,
used to be.
there's oh okay, maybe they're not
Well, the LA
anymore.
Hockey Club merged with the LA Junior Kings, and
Okay, okay.
that was the brothers. Oh my God, why am I blanking on their name? That ran the program. And actually, at your age
Mhm.
group, the '92 LA Hockey Club, there's a bunch of NHL guys that came out of that, or at least
Yeah,
AHL guys. There was a
Matt
mix.
Nieto,
Matt Nieto,
Chase Balassi, I think
Ace.
got
Well,
pretty
that's
high
so
up
funny.
there.
So I coached the '92s in Toronto, and I coached against Chase Balassi.
Really? Okay.
That Toronto Junior Canadians team had Tyler Toffoli, Chase Balassi, Johnny McFarland went first overall whenever we're in
Yep.
the OHL. Um, Devontae Smith Pelly was on that team.
Mhm.
The guy that I coached with after that, Nick Quinn, was on that team when he came from Ottawa. So I know all
Yeah.
guys from
That's so funny.
such a
Because I
small
mean,
world.
yeah, they definitely, get around. Once you're in that world and you start making a name for yourself, like
Totally.
everybody knows who you are.
Small world. Well,
Yeah.
sorry for diverging. People are interested.
It's
Just
all
such a
good.
funny coincidence, and you end up knowing
Yeah.
people that are the same. Uh,
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
so what's next for you guys? What are you working on, and where do you see yourself in the future?
Yeah, so right now, like I said, we scaled really quickly, a lot quicker than we were expecting. So it obviously caused some complications with logistics, inventory, and all that stuff. So realistically, we're trying to stabilize things. 2023 for us is a big stabilization year. We want to get things in a consistent format, so that way we can start bringing on, investors. Everything so far has been, bootstrapped, so we have, very little investment money, just, a couple other founders here and there, but that's about it. So we're looking to bring on a bridge round fairly soon, actually, and then looking to do an institutional raise near the end of the year. So we actually got accepted into New Chips Accelerator program for their Series A program. So we'll be using them to kind of help us through, navigating that realm of new territory for us anyway. My one of my founders is on Forbes 30 under 30 for gaming, for selling his company, but he bootstrapped his company and sold it. So he, although brilliant, definitely, could use help still on the fundraising side of things. So,
and it's a challenging year for that, but
yes, it is. But we're going to do our best. And that's also why we want to stabilize. So even if things like, things out of our control happen, we can still make sure that we're, scaling and growing at a steady pace versus like seeing like massive spikes and then kind of like struggling to keep up. And then we see the sales go down because we're not keeping up with those. So again, trying to stabilize everything. And then kind of another portion of our business that we are expanding horizontally with is something that kind of just, I don't want to say fell into our lap, but it's a way for us to make high fashion footwear more accessible, not just to consumers, but to other creators as well. So of course, me being a YouTuber and content creator myself, I wanted to figure out a way to make having a footwear brand more accessible. So you see all these people with apparel brands because there's so many different print on demand options. They're cheap, they're low MOQs. You can get a shirt made fairly easily, but footwear is a completely different story. So what we ended up doing is we had a couple different celebrity clients reach out to us wanting to start their own footwear brand. And so we were like, giving them advice at the start, but then we were just like, you know what, let's just take this over for you. So that way you don't have to worry about it. And so now we're basically offering this, white glove service to where if you wanted to create your own footwear brand, we would take care of everything from design to manufacturing, production, logistics, customer support, you name it. So we'll take care of everything just because we have all of the systems already built out. And so, like I said, we have a couple of really awesome clients that we're working with now, and looking to expand, again, not super quickly on that because it is a new venture for us, but definitely want to expand that side of things too.
That's amazing. And I will just actually, I meant to do this. Let's just quickly show for people that what your site looks like. I think this is probably helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
And so this is the MLO.shoes site.
Yes.
And these are obviously all of your designs. There's probably a lot more than this, but you got some cool stuff that we can check out. So
yeah, those are definitely our best sellers. The ones at the top were the best sellers, and as we go down, that kind of goes down the list of how many we sell of each one. So
got it. Okay, so the most popular at the top then. But yep. Yeah, this is amazing. It's kind of cool to see when someone does something original like this. So
yeah, and we feel like we offer like a pretty good array of designs. Some are like super out there, like that one. Some of the ones that you scrolled past earlier had like a really unique sole. So we have a couple different options, and then we have like the minimalist pairs at the top, which people tend to enjoy quite a bit. And then that right there is actually kind of like our high-end apparel brand. So it's called Introverted Extrovert. I'm actually wearing one of those hoodies right now.
Oh, cool.
But it's like just a limited release that we did with apparel. So yeah, it's just like kind of like the streetwear to go with our shoes.
That's amazing. All right. I want to be respectful of your time. If you could offer other entrepreneurs only one piece of advice, what would that be?
I would definitely say I mean, there's a ton of different things that we've learned over the past 3 years, but make sure you have the right people working with you. It makes all the difference in the world. It helps with decision making. It helps with the flexibility of the company in order to, make pivots as necessary. The people around you, really at the end of the day. So not just your employees, not just your coworkers, but your overall sphere of influence that you have. It's super important. You can learn from other people's mistakes. You don't have to always make them yourself. That's something that I was pretty stubborn on. I made myself like not want to watch any other videos or read books. I wanted to make the mistakes myself. And, although I learned the hard way, I'm more of an experience driven type of person. So I knew that I had to in order for me to learn. But I would say if you can avoid that and learn from other people, then I would absolutely recommend doing that, because I mean, my mistakes definitely cost me quite a bit of money
That is
and
great
relationships
advice.
too, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry to
Um,
hear
but yeah,
that.
it happens. It comes with the business territory, I guess. But
Yeah, I'm probably like you. Whenever I try to follow other people too much, it doesn't seem to work out. But when I hack my way through it and then kind of augment it with advice, I probably make a lot more progress. So I think that's great advice.
yeah, definitely taking bits and pieces from everybody and implementing it into your business, with your own intuition, because at the end of the day, nobody knows your business better than you do, or they shouldn't anyway. So even if they're, you know, billion-dollar companies, it might not pertain necessarily exactly to your business. So take whatever pieces you think will fit into your puzzle.
Being a YouTuber, what is the role of community and or partnerships been in your success?
So it's been a decent role, not anything super crazy. As much as I wish I could say that my whole brand started because of my YouTube following, I can't. A
Okay.
lot of my following before that was like, overseas watchers, so like Philippines,
Okay.
Vietnam, that type of thing. And so it kind of made me think of different like creative ways to engage them. So I was using them as, I would give away a pair of shoes to them. I would say, watch these videos, like I'll give a pair of shoes to somebody who comments on it. Um, but as an influencer, I will say I never did anything for free, which was really interesting to me on the flip side of things when I started my brand, that there were so many influencers that were coming to us saying that the only thing they wanted to do, the only thing they wanted from us in order to do a sponsorship was a pair of shoes. And they would post on Instagram,
That's
post
great.
on YouTube, and all that stuff. And the crazy thing is, like, it wasn't just micro influencers, it was big, big name influencers. So our biggest one that came to us just again for free, just for a pair of shoes, was Jason Derulo.
Oh,
And
wow.
he
Yeah.
has like, 50
That's
million
huge.
followers on TikTok. And he was, wearing our shoes on several of his videos. Didn't tag us on it, of course,
Oh,
but
no.
still it's that brand recognition.
Still wearing it.
My
She could tag it, but
my headset died, so let me switch out the battery real quick. Apologize about that.
well, Jason Derulo, you should really go back and tag them on that. So
Yeah, yeah, that would
really
be great.
appreciate it. Um,
Yeah.
well, I appreciate you spending so much time telling me about what you're working on, and we're definitely excited to follow that journey. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you, and what type of person would you like to connect with?
So right now the best way to get in touch with me would be through Instagram. Of course you can, email, text, but like Instagram, I'm always on there.
Okay.
My handle is Claytano. So that's Claytano. It's my same handle on all of my platforms, so should be fairly easy to find. The person I'm looking to connect with are other business owners, like-minded individuals. I live in Virginia, so not a whole lot of people locally that I can connect with on that level. And if you are from Virginia, that would, bonus points. And outside of that, people who are looking to, create their own brand, whether it be footwear or other things, we're here to help. So we'd love to chat.
That's amazing. What part of Virginia are you in?
Virginia Beach. So
Virginia Beach. Okay.
yeah, Norfolk. Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people in Reston, Virginia, and Baltimore, so I don't know how that's a little farther from you,
Yeah,
but
it's a little farther north, like more DC area, I think.
yep, exactly.
So, but yeah, not too far away. Still close enough to meet up for a dinner here and there. So,
Well, if we've been doing dinners with founders in different cities. I don't know when we're going to be doing Washington, D.C., but I think we might be. Our partner is Pacific Western Bank, and they kind of say, "Hey, can you do this place?" So, aside from the major markets, we're definitely going to do Miami in June if you want to come out to that.
yeah, yeah, that would be fun.
I'll let you know about the dates for that. The final thing is, by the way, is first of all, thank you for your time so much. I'm really excited to follow your journey. And when we have interesting people on the podcast, we like you to nominate another interesting person. We talk to founders and investors in scalable ventures. So, who would you, Clayton, like to nominate as a future guest?
So I would like to nominate a gentleman by the name of Justin, who is the CEO of Modal. It's Modl, and he's a fairly new entrepreneur, just like myself. He's got this really cool infinity tool that helps with outdoors,
Hmm.
and it almost reminds me of like. It's like a multi-tool that you can use to connect things together, carry skis with, water bottles, whatever you might need. It's really an interesting idea. So I'd like to nominate him. Of course, I can give you his email address, and you can reach out,
Yeah,
and or I
perfect.
can introduce you guys.
All right, Justin, you've been nominated as a future guest of the Founders Pack Form Your Own Pack podcast. Clayton, thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to staying in touch and following your journey.
Thanks so much, Michael. Appreciate the time, and look forward to seeing who else you have on.
Likewise.